Esta es una presentación de Podcastería.
Hola a toda la comunidad de Disruptivo, soy Juan del Cerro y estoy aquí muy emocionado porque voy a tener la oportunidad de platicar con Alexander Osterwalder, que es el creador, seguramente ustedes ya lo conocen, han escuchado su nombre, porque es el creador del Business Canvas, esa herramienta de negocios, esa herramienta de modelos de negocio, seguramente ustedes ya han conocido. Hoy vamos a poder entrar un poquito más a detalle, un poquito más a la mente del creador de esta herramienta y muchas otras herramientas de estrategia de negocios. Vamos a hablar en inglés. Pero bueno, les invito a que se queden y recuerden que pueden encontrar toda la información de esta entrevista en las notas en disruptivo.tv. Hi Alexander, how are you?
Great, and yourself?
I am very good. I'm very happy to be here with you.
My pleasure.
And I'm really thankful that you take the time to talk to us. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
How's your first couple of days in Mexico?
Excellent, yeah.
Great. So Alexander, the audience in Disruptivo, I'm guessing that most of our audience know what the Business Canvas is. They've done one, or they have been participated in a class or in a workshop where they've been taught the Business Canvas.
Yeah.
I want to get eventually into larger things about your vision and a couple of strategic concepts. But first I want to ask you a very specific and a basic question. And this comes mostly from my curiosity itself, that we teach and we learn how to do a business canvas.
Yeah.
But I will always have the question, what's next? Like, how do we use the business canvas? Because it's great to do it, in a workshop or get together with your team and create the canvas. And once it's done, like, what should we do with it? And nobody teaches you that. Yeah. So I would love to learn from you.
Okay, so the first thing you do once you've done it is you throw it away.
Awesome. Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's true. But the point is that when you have this idea and you want to create a venture, most important is that you don't fall in love with your first idea, and you definitely shouldn't fall in love with your first business model canvas, because ideas are free, ideas are cheap, and they're usually wrong.
Okay.
So your task as an entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, is to actually figure out how can you turn an idea into a business, into a real functioning organization. And what that means is making many business model canvases. And when I say throw it away, you don't just throw it away. It's one of the things you're going to do. But first of all, you need to come up with several different business model canvases, radically different for the same idea. Ask yourself, what if I did it this way? If I gave away my products for free? What if I asked for $1 million for my products, right? How would the business model canvas look like? And it doesn't matter if they feel real or not. It's about exploring what could be. That's your first task, okay? Once you have a sense of what could be, you're gonna get a feel of, okay, this idea might be the most realistic, and that's the one you should immediately test.
Okay.
Not after spending a week refining your canvas, but a day after.
Right away.
So you go talk to potential customers. In this social entrepreneur space, we'll probably talk to beneficiaries. You talk to stakeholders. If you're in a not-for-profit, you will talk to donors, okay? And what they will tell you is, you're wrong, you don't get it, this is not my problem. And that's good. Your task as an entrepreneur is to be proven wrong every day, but to learn where you were wrong and to fix those mistakes and to integrate it into your next canvas. So when I say throw away your canvas, I mean it literally. You're going to throw them away all the time, but not just based on your thinking, but based on evidence you get from the market, okay? So it's very important to combine your modeling and sketching with the business model canvas, to combine it what is known as the lean startup approach or the customer development approach by Steve Blank and Eric Ries, okay? So it's this combination that's important. And if you really want to go from idea to business, you're actually going to have to use a lot of other tools as well. The business model canvas is just one tool. You need many tools, many processes to get from idea to business.
Awesome. I think that's great because most of the people, do the canvas and they take it home or they take it to their office and they have it right there, but then
put a frame around it.
Yeah, and they sort of go back to where they were doing before the canvas. So it's sort of, I don't know if doing it is just one part of the process, but like you said, it's maybe not even the most important part.
Well, yes, it's important, but it's doing it over and over again. It's like I like to call it like a map. that evolves, okay?
Exactly.
And it's even more extreme if you take the value proposition canvas. So we made one tool to define how you create, deliver, and capture value. That's the business model canvas. So that focuses mainly on how do I create value for my organization, even if I'm a social enterprise, okay? Then we created the value proposition canvas to make explicit how you're creating value for your customers. And in that value proposition canvas, there's this really neat tool called the customer profile. So you ask yourself, what are my customers' jobs that they're trying to get done? What are their pains and what are their gains, okay? The first time you map that out, the first time you map your customer understanding, you're most definitely wrong, right?
Yeah.
Then you go talk to customers, you go talk to 10 customers, you go talk to 100 customers, and your map will evolve, okay? So it's a living document that will become more and more real. So for the customer profile, it's more like, okay, I'm gonna shape my customer just by understanding I'm gonna change this map. For the business model canvas, it's literally throwing it away because you maybe had a model in mind that's not gonna work. Oh, the price was too high, the channels were wrong, okay?
Yeah, I didn't
So
find
that needs to change, exactly. So these are living documents. So it's very important to do them, but it's not, you can't do them in a vacuum. You can't do them in your office, in a coffee shop. No, you do them by informing those tools with real evidence from the market. That's very, very important. If you don't do that, it's an intellectual fantasy.
Okay.
You're not an entrepreneur by writing a business plan or making a business model canvas. You're an entrepreneur by figuring it out and then scaling that thing, okay?
Awesome.
Which is another hard problem to do.
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Actually, you've been talking about strategy and value proposition with entrepreneurs all around the world. I don't know if you've found that entrepreneurs in the world, like we all have the same conceptions or misconceptions about what a business strategy is, about a business model proposition. Do you think there's like this common misconceptions that we have?
There are a couple. So a couple of mistakes that are holding people back. Okay. So the first one I'd say is that when we say innovation, this is the first thing people think. It's technology.
Yeah.
Okay? Technology is an enabler of innovation, but it's not innovation, right? So let's take an example, not in the social entrepreneurship space, but it's a very striking one. Banks like to focus on fintech, technology for financial services, but at the end of the day, people are not happy with banks because the services are broken. So by improving the services with or without technology, you can make a huge jump. Now, let's go back to our social enterprise space, okay? There's opportunities for very different types of business models with or without technology. Technology is not a driver. And the other misconception, putting technology at the center is also putting the product at the center.
Okay.
We always think it's the product the most important. I have a great product, I'm going to succeed. Turns out you can actually go bankrupt even with a great product. Give you an example of an existing company, now bankrupt, Kodak. They invented the digital camera. They went out of business. Why? Because they didn't find a product? No, they invented the digital camera. They sold millions of them. They didn't find a business model for the digital camera, okay? So a big misconception is that people think that the product is the key. This is just a component of your business model, okay? How am I creating value for customers? Great, but you might also just want to figure out what really matters to my customers before I think of this one, right? And then the other one is the business model around it. So the third kind of more process-related misconception is that those entrepreneurs who understand they need to go test their ideas. When they go test their ideas, what are they going to go test? They're going to go test the product, right? You say, oh, do you like this?
Yeah.
Then you can say, yeah, maybe not, but maybe I should have talked about something over here. Like, you will give me feedback on this, but maybe you don't care about this, right? Maybe something completely different was important to you. So what was really a better way to do it is to keep the idea in the back of your mind. You don't talk about your idea. Your task is not to sell what you want to do. Your task is to really learn about the customer. So I will ask, okay, so what are your biggest struggles at the moment? What are the things that are really annoying you? What are your objectives? What do you really want to achieve? And this or that. The more I understand you, the more I can design a better thing. And then once I have a great understanding of my customers, then I can start understanding, okay, what do you think of this? Does this help you with that pain you talked to me about yesterday, right? So the first task is to forget your product, to hide it, and to just learn. Take it in. It's what you call customer discovery, okay? That's probably the biggest mistake.
I love that. And we always, in social entrepreneurship, talk about falling in love with the problem and then looking forward to the solution, no? Then creating the solution on part of the problem, not starting with it.
Yeah.
We're running out of time. I just want to ask you one last question. Hopefully, it can be short because you have a lot more interviews today. What are you working on right now? Are you like designing something new? Can we expect something new from you?
Yeah, there are 1,000 things we're working on. And my biggest dream is to create the strategic operating system.
Okay.
Meaning the software that supports you in this process of going from idea to business, number one. But then think of a large company, take Nestle, where they're managing their operations with SAP and Oracle, whatever. But what I would love to see them do is manage their strategy and innovation in software. And with Strategizer, that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so that's the big vision. Then there's smaller things we're working on. We're working on, or actually we just finished this and are testing it next week, business workshop and process design card deck.
Okay.
With all of the tools, with all of the concepts, with all of the processes in a card deck.
That's awesome.
And then you just map this out and do it in your organization.
Wow. Both things sound great, and I assume, like you said, there's a million other things coming up. So hopefully we'll be hearing from you soon about all these new products. So, yeah. Where can we find you in social networks? When can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so easiest is just to go to strategizer.com. A lot of free stuff, all of the things that we test,
we
you'll
love
find
free
them
stuff. Awesome. Thank you very much, Alexander. Muchas gracias a toda la comunidad de Disruptivo, esperemos que les haya gustado, verdaderamente una gran conversación con Alexander. Aprovechen este espacio, ayúdenos a compartirlo y ya saben que pueden encontrar todo esto en disruptivo.tv. Muchas gracias, hasta luego.
Disruptivo aparece cada semana gracias a Podcastería.